Hey everybody, welcome back to Starfyre Gaming. I am Sir Joseph and this is Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. We are just finished exploring the Mundus Nullius and cleared a site to go to Mundos Valencius. And if we look at this here, it says restore the operation of the administrative apparatus on Dargonus, which is a quest of ours, and so that means this is Dargonus, which is our capital. So let's go ahead and go there. Lord Captain, Master Helmsman of the Line, I can report that the quest for the capital world of the Von Valencius dynasty is finally at an end. Dargonus is straight ahead. We have received countless greetings. Your subjects would like to know when their master will be arriving. The merchant captains, taking refuge in the orbital docks of Dargonus, race to send you priceless welcoming gifts, hoping to buy your favor and make an impression on the Rogue Trader. Tell Dargonus the Rogue Trader is coming home. It will be done, Lord Captain. Spiders in a Jar quest, okay. After the connection to the Master Helmsman is cut, the device crackles with Heinrich's voice. Lord Captain, I will be pleased to accompany you during your visit to Dargonus, so I can personally introduce Achilles Scalander, a servant of the Golden Throne who previously attended Lady Theodora on Dargonus. I am counting on your benevolence. The Vox cast ends with a click. So we got to make planetfall and restore the administrative apparatus. All right, we got some planets we'll hit first, and then we've got an Adeptus Mechanicus ship floating over the top of ours. So let's get these planets first. So these crystals, Phlogiston. Do we have any Phlogiston? We are making 5 right now, so we do not need to drop one of our precious extractums. All right, let's go check out the Adeptus Mechanicus ship floating above our planet. Lord Captain, a transport shuttle bearing the markings of the Adeptus Mechanicus is approaching the ship. Magus Tarzusus's delegation intends to board our ship and gain an audience with your lordship. This is exactly how they phrased it. He intends, not humbly requests. Many of my tech comrades neglect diplomacy when interacting with the laity. It is regrettable. What do they want? The honorable servants of the Omnici have ignored our request. Such arrogance is hardly trivial. It rather appears to be part of their intimidation tactics. Receive the delegation. They may indeed be here on important business. It will be done, Lord Captain. Requesting permission to present at the audience granted to my tech comrades. Alright. It's us. That's an acolyte of Opticon 22! He's a long way from home. Technomad Vicar, Technomac Adept, Tech Priest, a Sharpshooter, a Scutarius, a couple of Servitors, and him.
A new challenge for me.
It's quite the entourage. A group dressed in the crimson of the priesthood of Mars walks towards you. Their gazes are fixed on Pascal. You note that the group is not monothelitic. Some of the members are more heavily armed and follow a large tech priest clad in battle armor. Others keep their respectful distance and cast inquiring looks at their own leader, whose hunched posture belies his tall frame. Despite the hood covering his face, you recognize him as Opticon 22, whom you encountered on Footfall. The enormous tech priest points his hand at Pascal and lets out a booming roar, not unlike a factory alarm. It makes your very bones vibrate. Herald servo skulls, marked with the emblem of the cog, follow in his wake. They blare shrilly, "Thou shalt not suffer a heretic in thy forge, for rust begets rust. Pascal Hahnemann, in the name of the Adeptus Mechanicus, you are under arrest." The hunched servant of the Omnici turns to you. Diplomacy mode engaged. Announcement. The Adeptus Mechanicus offer their apologies for, would like to inform you of the necessity of conducting an operation to detain, arrest, terminate a faulty unit on the Rouge Trader's territory. Oops, forgot to bring these up just in case people wanted to see them. Let's study the two priests. You identify the rare amount of You identified the rare armor the enormous tech priest is wearing as a seculator's plated mechanized suit. It carries the imprints of many battles and has markings that announce its status as a relic. Some of the armor's damage looks fairly severe, to the point of endangering its operation. The slivers of flesh revealed under the steel are marked with terrible chemical burns. Every now and then convulsions shake the tech priest's body, and a painful sounding hiss comes from his vox. The tall tech priest who spoke to you looks more peaceful and makes a point of not drawing his weapon. There is an air of concern about the way he frequently glances over at his fellow, scrutinizing his condition. On what charges are you trying to arrest a member of my retinue? This heretic is accused of stealing personal identification codes, spreading tech heresy on the world of Kiavagama, and making an attempt on the life of a servant of the Omnici. The deafening roar from the tech priest's vox makes you grimace in pain. You touch your ear and notice blood on your fingers. The faulty unit will be removed. In the name of the Omnici, I condemn you. Lightning flashes across the warrior's armor. Agony resounds in the blare of his vox alarm. In contrast, Pascal speaks quietly and coldly. You are malfunctioning, tech comrade. I deem your logical conclusions questionable. The statement is false. Tech brother Tarzus Hahnemann is willingly undergoing holy torment deterioration, which, however, does not critically affect his cognitive capacity for data analysis. Unit calling itself Pascal Hahnemann, we have information that implicates you. Having learned that you are a member of the retinue, a maintenance specialist in the service of Rouge Trader von Valentius, we have come here with the goal of meeting you, intercepting you, engaging you in combat. Wait a minute. What's happening on Kiavagama? That planet belongs to me. According to Vox interception data, the planet's fabricator sensor made inaccurate or incorrect, blasphemous modifications to manufacturum working procedures, which qualifies as a lapse into sacrilege. The Adeptus Mechanicus are hereby officially notifying House von Valentius of having commenced an investigation into operation to remove fabricator sensor Cubus Delphim. Estimated time to procedure of completion, 3.7 solar years. So I have the time. Our data suggests that the unit within which used Magus Explorator Hahnemann's identification code performed an unauthorized upgrade on the planetary Vox array and introduced data deemed to be scrap code into its operation. This fact points to the unit's criminal complacency within the heretic Cubus Delphium. Point to the furious servant of the Omnicide. Do you have proof that this tech priest is who he claims to be? Confirmed. According to the archive entry 1E99237, Magus Explorator Tarzus Hahnemann served on, maintained the ship identifier classified in the capacity of a reliquary caretaker. He sustained extensive damage to both the organic and the sacred part of his body in a series of sacrilegious breaches of the right of operation and assassination attempt. Owing to a statistically fortunate coincidence by the Omnicide's grace, enough of his operational capacity was preserved for him to don a Goliath model sacred battle harness, which would preserve his vital functionality. Archive entry personally data sealed by the captain of the identifier classified. The sound from the tech priests of Vox is like a moan of a bending steel beam, a servo skull declares. For vengeance I thirst as I tread the path of vengeance. For vengeance I thirst as I tread the path of vengeance, following a blasphemous miscreant's bloody tracks. Analysis of the security system showed that the assassins, heretics, infiltrated the reliquary using Tech Brother Tarsus's unique identification code. Someone had duplicated Brother Tarsus's identity, which is a grade 3 transgression, and the unit making the alleged criminal claim of being Pascal Hahnemann is known to have previously entered the stolen codes. I am not handing Pascal over to you unless I see evidence. Let us get to the bottom of this matter together. Request approved. Ready to work in cooperative mode. Tarsus gives you a haughty look and lets out a howl of wrath. Archiving Tech Brother Tarsus opposes lay participation in the investigation Search for Truth. Unit Opticon 22 advises in favor of the House von Valencius representative's participation request. I insist on joint investigation. Arresting a Rouge Trader's retinue member without any justification stands in breach of the law and my privilege under the warrant of trade. Request for cooperation reviewed and accepted. I request Tech Brother Tarsus's consent to the co-participation of representatives of the von Valencius dynasty in the investigation proceedings. A sacrilegious conspiracy. I refuse help from laypersons. I am a cog of the Dos Mechanicus and grinds down corruption. I will carry out the sentence immediately. Pascal freezes, but green sparks light up his visor. He extends a hand towards Tarsus and replies in a clanging voice, "Let the cycle be discontinued." You realize Pascal's words are coming from both his own Vox and Tarsus's. Then every sensor on the executioner's battle harness lights up at once, blindingly, and the wounded armored Leviathan lets out a deafening roar of pain. Attention! Priority notification. Service units of the Kappa Thread Supply are unauthorized to confront a Rogue Trader. Command, retreat and reinitiate negotiations. I like that. Heretic Pascal, I will wreak punishment upon you in the name of Dos Mechanicus.
Submit, and you'll die quickly.
Alright. So Pascal's going to go first, as is usual. And then 3 of them before Yearliot. Let's go ahead and put Pascal there. We'll go ahead and put Ignatius next to him. Let's put Argenta there. Cassia. I guess there. Oh. Abelard can go there. And Yearliot, I guess there. So Pascal can go first. What do we got here? Plasma grenade. Chance to blind. And then frag grenades to do damage. Gas grenades probably not going to do anything. Let's throw these guys under the debuff and us 3 under the buff. And let's hit him with this. Put that there to give these guys some protection.
Explorers know
spawn him in over a little.
Forward.
I'm gonna throw the plasma grenade, see if we can maybe get them blinded. Blinded both the servitors, so that's something.
Pain
Ow!
and duty go hand in hand. Ugh, my ears are ringing. Just a minor setback.
Why did he just chop his own buddy? Not that I'm complaining. At the end of each turn, this creature suffers 10 points of direct damage but gains a stacking +5 damage bonus. Also, at the end of its turn, this creature makes one attack against everyone within melee range. Well, that explains why. Creature does not have its own resolve and has no influence on momentum. Alright. Nearly it. So he's already set up for a nice shot there, so we don't have to do that. That is set properly there. He's got 40 armor, so let's
I am not your
remove his
Xenos pet
armor.
monkey.
Go ahead and put this on him as well. See if we can get the triple shot right down the middle here. Oh, he could actually do a quadruple shot. That would be awesome. No, just got the double. And then we want to do this.
If I must.
And I don't know if, let's just kind of assume maybe we're going to have to hit this guy again.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Abelard's getting hammered. Bleeding.
I will endure.
Yay! We didn't get hit by something. Alright, we need to stop Abelard's bleeding. Turns under the voice of command, they also get both, so we're going to put voice of command on Abelard.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Then we are going to do this to remove his
If I
bleeding.
may.
And I'll give him even more temporary hit points. And then we'll do this on Abelard. Get his great sword out, which should have been out to begin with.
At your beck and call, exemplary strike.
Let's go ahead and just throw that guy up. And let's give Abelard more toughness.
Victory is imminent. It will be done. I will do my
Took the
duty.
extra damage on that guy.
It will be done. Reduced to dust.
Then we killed the servitor, so that's good. See if we can knock him back. And down. Alright! We knocked him down, that means he can't do anything next turn. And then Yurliet's, so we can kind of ignore him with everybody else for now. Try to work on these other people. Alright, so this is just too good of a shot here, so we are going to do controlled shot. And we're going to shoot right down the middle at these guys. That was a lot of damage there. That was pretty good. Then let's do this.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
And then take a single shot at this guy.
I'll do it. This is why I was
One
chosen.
hit point left. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, she can kick him, but can't move. Oh, we can sprint.
Faith without deeds is worthless. Doubt is for the each strike is a prayer.
Ha ha ha! Kicked him dead.
High momentum.
Already done. Suits my purposes.
Let's let the bulwark
Not
out.
a problem for me.
Actually, we've got one more, so let's go ahead and put this on him.
All too easy.
Alright, then let's use this.
I'll bring glory to my bloodline.
Let's come over here.
Suits my purpose. There's nowhere to hide. Already done. Watch and learn. Not a problem. There's nowhere to hide.
And some chunky damage there.
Request approved. Advancing. The scriptural prognosis is favorable. Running binary override. Functions successfully terminated.
Hit the guy on the other side too. That was good. put this here, so we've got some more armor.
Another clean strike.
We've got that shot. We can shoot over here. All right, let's do this. Do this.
I am not your Xenos pet monkey. I
This.
understand your intent. I am not
This.
your Xenos pet monkey. If I must.
Almost got him. I don't think anything's going to be left alive to worry about this, so we'll just
I
do
am
the
not your
hide.
Xenos pet monkey.
She's not our pet. She tells us all the time.
Step aside. The navigator is coming. I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Suits my purposes. Opposing me was your biggest mistake.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and
Me?
finish him off.
Another foe painted black.
And we'll give
I'll
Ignatius
show
another
you
turn.
why navigators are feared.
Nothing I can't touch and learn. Already done.
And done. Requesting cessation of hostilities. Pascal, what did you do to Tarsus? Pascal's confused reply comes from his box in Arras, unable to fulfill request. The Omnisci granted me an epiphany, and I muted the maimed machine spirit that was filling Tarsus's mind with fury. I do not fully understand the manner of my appeal to it. The situation perfectly mirrors the incident on Recad Minorius, where I appealed to the machine spirit of a malfunctioning mechanism and laid it to rest. I'm sorry you had to kill a comrade. I also regret have a negative assessment of this event. The Adeptus Mechanicus still accuse the unit identifying itself as Pascal Hahnemann of criminal theft of a unique identification code. Unlike Tech Brother Tarsus, I am not authorized to immediately execute the unit, but neither am I authorized to drop the inquiry. There are no apostates among us. The piercing voice from the Vox synth is more overwhelming than Tarsus's thunderous roar. Tech Brother Tarsus and the machine spirit that lived in his battle harness succumbed to the suffering that beset them. Their judgment was rash and erroneous. Now their torment is over. I declared them martyrs, and I am requesting Tarzus Hanuman's neuro-augmetic for the purposes of preserving his blessed memory. An astonished tech priest looks on. Pascal leans over the slain man's body and extracts the augmetic from his skull. His movements are as precise as they are respectful. Whisper, whatever you just did, it's working. Keep going. With each word, Pascal's voice grows more powerful and majestic. You saw the agony your tech brother Tarzus was in. His unbridled pain spurred faith intimidated you, yet you were silent. Reverence stopped you from raising your voice to proclaim that the machine spirit with which his mind had merged was morbidly affected. The imperative of the reverence had paralyzed your will, and you watched a tragedy unfold in silence. The sixth universal law states that comprehension is the true path of knowledge. Yet the procedural cycle has robbed you of your comprehension. Therefore, let the cycle be discontinued. There is a clang as Opticon 22's knee presses to the floor. Crimson hooded heads are bowed. Let the cycle be discontinued. The radiant light pouring out of Pascal's visor grows dimmer. Static creeps back into his voice. Let the cycle be discontinued, tech comrades. Pascal, there's one small point I'm not clear on. What just happened? Pascal's Vox synth crackles somewhat tentatively. I decided to sustain my words with an excerpt from one of the Blessed Armanat's sermons on loss of internal and external function. Verse 4. My analysis deemed it appropriate. What is the reason for this act of genuflection? It has been a long time since the words of the Messiah of discontinuing were last spoken openly over public communications bands. We respectfully welcome wisdom's return. So he has not forgotten after all. The Messiah of discontinuing? Is that how you refer to Amernat? Following Archmagos' Amernat's partial lycisation removal from the chain of command, that was the authorship attributed to a series of sermons on discontinuing the cycle that were disseminated across the cognizance fleet. It was, in fact, a title used by many in times past. Is Amernat's teachings not heretical? This statement is false. Contrary to what many servants of the Omnici thought they knew, preferred to believe, the fleet's supreme conclave never issued an official statement on that decision. 37% of the Supreme Conclave's members openly supported Archmagos Amernat's views and disappeared, removed from the chain of command, under circumstances that were classified. The Supreme Conclave has not had a quorum ever since. Do you know where Amernat is now? Data unavailable. No reports have mentioned Archmagos Amernat since the incident on the Arc Mechanicus Hermetico, which led to the presumed disappearance of that void ship. My archive has no data on the Hermetico incident. The vessel was the blessed Amranat's base of operations. Is it lost then? Pascal's voice is filled with anxiety. Were you among his followers? Negative. I had no contact with Archmagos Amranat, and was never a member of his flock disciples' retinue. However, my analysis of the doctrine he outlined inspired in me deep respect for, trust in him. I presume the conflict between you and Pascal has been resolved. The data received provides a basis for calling the fallen tech brother Tarsus's hypothesis into question. Out of respect for, due to lack of authorization to indict, the following of the Messiah of Discontinuing, we will not proceed with the detainment, arrest, termination. The Omnisci knows all, comprehends all. Thank you, Tech Brother Opticon 22. Now that the conflict has been resolved, you may remain aboard my ship. Request denied. The Kappa Thread supply line delegation is leaving Dargonus, expresses gratitude for the hospitality ceasefire, and proclaims its intent to return to Footfall to resume performing its regular functions. The tech priest looks over at Pascal as if waiting for something. Pascal's mechadendrite briefly touches the shoulder of Opticon 22, who bows respectfully. That was weird. Alright, we got some loot. Alright, we got a power sword. We got an Omnicize axe. Might be better than the one that Pascal is using right now. And that appears to be everything. Let's just make sure there's nothing hidden.
Stars.
Oh, this is that first place we were at when we very first came onto the ship. And the servitor attacked us. Back before Voitvert decided that he was going to betray everybody. Alright, back to the bridge. Boy, I was going to look at that stuff. Anver Chainsword, not Avenger Chainsword. Those should go to cargo. We have to go through and clean this up again. So we've got two of these things. A Drukhari weapon. Oh, that's that. It's a Drukhari sniper. All right. All right. This can go to cargo. Power sword. I think that chain axe is better. That greatsword is definitely better. All right, to the map. Now, did we have... Getting the required seals turned out to be quite a task due to lack of coordination between different dips. Now the Rouge Trader needs to return to Dargonus to certify the document with Master Seals. Yeah, this is Jay. Alright, so... Alright, so yeah, we gotta do something for Jay on Dargonus. Administratum. Well, let's go to the palace first. We don't need Jay here. We need to take Jay to the Administratum so we can go ahead with who we normally take. Glory to the Rouge Trader! That looked like scheming nobles to me. But then again, pretty much all nobles are scheming nobles, so... So they're mostly wearing purple, which I like. The Emperor protects. Welcome home, your lordship. The stately woman in a long dress uniform makes a graceful curtsy. Her short graying hair does not obscure her stern features. I am Clementia, or Clementia, I don't know, Worcian, Court Chancellor of the Von Valentius dynasty. On behalf of all of Dargonus, please accept my deepest condolences on the untimely passing of Theodora von Valentius. Her departure is a terrible blow to us all, but as one star expires, another always flares to life. And although still overcome with bitterness and grief, your subjects hope that you will become the trade dynasty's guiding light in these trying times. I'm gonna call her Clementia. That sounds like a venereal disease. Clementia. Abelard offers a reserved nod. She nods in return, and the lines in his brow soften ever so slightly. The young man quickly brings a respirator to his burned face and bows his head courteously. His raven black hair veils his burns and skull implants, and his thin metallic fingers creak quietly as he offers a welcoming gesture. Achilles Scalander, Secretary of the Administratum Department. I hope your journey to Dargonus was not darkened by unwanted troubles. The Emperor protected us on our journey through the stars. Achilles makes the sign of the Aquila, and may he remain merciful to us till the end of time. Does your lordship wish to survey the grounds? Or perhaps we could sate your curiosity by answering any questions you might have. Governor Urbend Drivestem has been notified of your arrival on Dargonus and will visit the palace shortly. The preparations for the official visit are well in hand, but your lordship still has plenty of time before the meeting. Hold on a moment, Clemencia. What did you say your last name was? Clemencia. Clemencia. Clemencia nods politely. You heard correctly, your lordship. I am of House Werserian, Lord Abelard's granddaughter and direct descendant. The succession of service is an effective good. It grants new generations understanding of their function within the mechanism. Chancellor Wersian has held her position at the Von Valencia's court for many years. She earned Lord Captain Theodora's respect through acts of great perseverance. There is no room for doubt. Blood had nothing to do with it. The Emperor blesses those who strengthen humanity's domain through their deeds. You have reason to be proud of your progeny. Abelard looks at you in surprise, but then immediately puts on an air of indifference. Thank you, Lord Captain. Why isn't the governor here with you to greet me? Apologies, your lordship. Governor Drivestem's residence is on the other side of the world, by the Administratum's Palace of Dargonus. We sent word as soon as you entered the system, but it takes time to travel the great distances of your domain. Chancellor Werserian's appears unruffled, but you cannot shake the thought that the governor's lateness is a subtle political gesture designed to test the limits of what is acceptable when it comes to interacting with the new Rogue Trader. I would like to rest before the meeting. Where are my chambers? They are very close, just down the hall. That is also where the study and the audience chambers are. Achilles' face brightens with a pearly white smile, restoring some of his former good looks. Lady Theodora's study has remained locked since her last departure, but, on account of your revival, we've arranged for it to be tidied up. It is ready whenever you may need it. You are dismissed. I apologize for my bluntness, but I have a request to make. Perhaps before the meeting takes place, the illustrious Lord Captain could spare a few minutes for a conversation with me. Achilles' head bows his head. I'm certain that you will find my report on the state of the affairs in the Von Valencia's protectorate most useful. Alright. Well, this is a good spot to call it before we get into too many more conversations. I'm going to go ahead and level up Jay, since we do have to take her to the Administratum, and we want to get her leveled up before that, so I'll do that off of camera. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. As always, like, subscribe, and comment. I've been Sir Joseph. You guys are amazing. Until next time, stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you later.